Whoa! I am live. Jacques Photography. I am live. Am I live? I am live, people. Hey, YouTubers. This is Jacques from Jacques Photography. And today, you know what? I'm going to even look at my actual tag because I have to see why I'm doing this live stream. And if I'm not mistaken, the live stream is being done for the following reason. Please, people, you are all welcome to write your stuff down and put it in there. I can chat with you. I can sort of respond. But today I'm going to look at all my equipment. Pardon me. Oh, the fun of live. Now, I've already done a video on what is in my camera bag a while back. But today I decided to actually go through all the stuff I have. Absolutely all the stuff. And why. I'm going to try to make this live stream 1 hour long. We'll see what happens. I got my coffee right here. I'm ready to go. Little sip. And I'm going to go through all the camera equipment I do have, why I like it, and my assessment. Sort of the pros and cons of each piece of camera equipment. Let's start off with a beautiful beast right here. It is the Canon EOS80D. Now, what can I say about this camera? First of all, I think any Canon camera is a good camera in the sense that it takes Canon glass. So the fact that the Canon 80D does take Canon glass, I think is a really cool thing, because I believe that Canon glass, bar none, is some of the best glass you can get for the price. You can go into their inexpensive stuff, you can go to their expensive stuff. It's all exceptional glass, and I think it's actually underrated. I really do. I think that it is even better than people think, even though the general consensus is that it is very good. Now, the Canon EOS80D, let me talk about some of the pros, and then I'll go to the cons right away. First of all, I want to tell you that within my workflow, I use this camera mostly for filming. Mostly. But that doesn't mean I do not use it for stills. I do use it for stills. I think I'm going to leave a link down in the description of this video of where I've actually used this thing for stills in the past on a couple of behind-the-scenes photo shoots. But mostly I use it for stills. For video. Now, see, the pros of this camera are, the biggest thing I believe, it is the dual pixel continuous focusing on this camera is excellent. It is just fantastic, not only for video work. Like, for example, if you put this on auto and you're doing video work and you're doing an interview, you don't have to worry about, let's say someone is sitting in their chair and they're doing an interview and they sort of move forward and move backward. A lot of times when you're working with very low depth of field, the problem is when somebody gets into what they have to say, they'll move in and out and you might lose focus for that time. With the dual pixel continuous focusing, you don't have to worry about that at all. It's pretty darn amazing for that reason. I think it's quite cool. So that is one of the really cool things, is the dual pixel focusing on this camera. It is stunningly amazing. Now, even when you work with stills, I do a lot of live and show photography. The dual pixel is fast. It's, when I'm using it on continuous, it's pretty darn amazing. It's second to none here. Let me just shoot you guys over to the actual screen of the camera itself right here. I'm just impressed by this thing for a lot of reasons. Canon came out with this. It was a revolutionary camera, but probably I'd say for not the greatest of reasons. It came out at a time everyone was really looking for 4K, and it was disappointing for a lot of people because of the fact that it did not have the 4K in it. But I can just say with certitude that the 1080p that it does have is stunning. And I have spoken to a lot of people on my YouTube channel when they ask me about the actual video quality. I tell them It is unfriggin' believable. And not only that, there is a setting on the 80D where you can go into all eye. Now, you'll eat up a 32 gigabyte SD card in not long. It will not take a long time to actually eat up your 32 gigabyte SD card. So, but the actual quality of the images, the sharpness is unfriggin' believable. It's just beautiful. The Canon colors are great and everything. So, other advantages to this camera, this DSLR, is the fact that it is a DSLR, which I cannot state more. As much as I've embraced mirrorless, I still love using a DSLR just for the weight, the feel, the actual solidity of it, and I really like working with this. This shoots at around 4 or 5 frames per second, so it's pretty darn good. Nothing close to a mirrorless. But that's a discussion we can all get into. I mean, do you want to shoot 11 frames, 14 frames a second when you think of the triage you have to do? It can be a question of just shooting well. Okay, so anyways, what I wanted to say also, there's an external mic, external earphone, all great stuff for video production. Now, also for stills, I have nothing but great stuff to say. I think the dynamic range is great. I edit this stuff. I shoot a lot in RAW, and everything comes out just stunning. It's really, really stunning camera for a lot of reasons. Now, within my workflow, I use it a lot to film for corporate gigs, and I also use it a lot when I vlog and blog. It's got the 1635 on it right now. Let me boom. Yes, it's got the 1635 on it right now, which is an excellent, fantastic lens when you're working with APS-C, and so it's great. When I vlog and blog, I couple. What is this doing here? What is this? There we go. It's got this. Yeah, it's got the 16 to 35. When I vlog and blog, I use the 10 to 18, the little nifty 50 of the zooms that they have. Now, the cons of it, I would say, and I'm probably going to say this along the whole line of all my stuff, is that it's an APS-C size sensor, and I am a big fan of larger sensors. I do not right now have any full frame cameras, which to me is not a good thing. It really isn't. Give me a second, guys. Everybody here. I'm just going to do a little thing. Move my... There you go. Move that like that. There you go. Yeah, so for that, it's not the greatest. I wish it was full frame. Now, a lot of you might be saying, well, why don't you get a 6D Mark II? That is definitely one of the things that is in my plans for the future, is to get a 6D Mark II. Which to me, for many reasons, not every reason, but to me, for many reasons, the 6D Mark II is an 80D with full frame. Now, the 80D, the 6D was badly received, but for some reason it's all of a sudden becoming a star again, and people are talking about how amazing it is for a lot of stuff. Like bloggers and vloggers love it because you got dual pixel and you have full frame, so you can get really, really sharp, nice photos. But anyways, so I just wanted to tell you that where that places, where the 80D right now is in my workflow. I use it for stills, mostly for video production for clients, and also for vlogging and blogging. With the 1018, it is relatively light, and that's a good thing. So I just wanted to talk about that. Now we're going to go to a camera, which I don't know what I'm going to do with. I really don't know where to situate. It's called the Panasonic FZ. It's the FZ2500. The Panasonic FZ2500 is, how can I say, it's sort of like a jack of all trades, master of a couple. This is a super zoom camera. It's a bridge camera. It also is a 1-inch sensor. It's got a Leica zoom lens on it, a relatively large zoom lens. I got no battery in it. But when I actually do turn it on, it extends to about here. So the default size of this thing is rather large. Now the pros of this camera, first of all, is the fact that you can do a lot of stuff with this. You have a great lens, you have a super zoom, you can get some great stills off of a 1-inch sensor. The 1-inch sensor on this is really fantastic. This thing it's got everything in it. If you don't want to carry a lot of stuff, it's a cool camera because you got a great zoom on it. The f on this is 2.8 to 4.5. And the equivalency of millimeter of zoom is, I believe, 25 to 400. So you can use it for sports. You can use it for a lot of stuff. Now, a lot of people tote this as sort of the fixed lens GH4. And the reason why is that in terms of actual video codecs and using this in a video production workflow, it is a fantastic camera. I use it a lot as a B cam, and I've even used it as an A cam. It's got everything on it. It's got earphone, it's got HDMI, it's got USB. What else? It's got time-lapse options. It's got variable frame rates and a lot of variable frame rates. It's got variable frame rates on the fly. I have a full review of this camera right here on my channel, and I'll give a link also to that so you guys can see it. I believe in the cards of the video you're watching right now, you can actually see you can see what this camera can do. What other stuff? Let me just check out what other stuff it also has. If you look at some of the features, yes, it has a super zoom. Yes, yes. In terms of 4K, this delivers 4K as well, and it delivers cinema 4K as well. So that's 4096 by 2160, and that is why a lot of people tout this as the fixed lens GH4, not GH5, because it doesn't have as many features as the GH4. On the side here, let me flip to the big screen. On the side here, I don't know if you can get that, but right here you have ND filters, 1/64, 1/16, 1/4, and auto. You have a function buttons on the side here. It's very video-centric workflow type camera. Now, for that reason, I have stated many times that this camera I use a lot for video. It is a video camera for me. That's how I see it. Now, it has been sold as a camera that does stills. I don't know if it's actually that good for stills. What really gets my gripe about this camera is the actual lens, believe it or not. It has the Leica name to it, but believe it or not, it just doesn't do that great. The lens itself, when you actually go in stills and you actually magnify in, when you're tight and you got a small opening, there's a lot of diffraction. When you open up, it gets a bit fuzzy. So the actual sweet spot is not that great on this lens when you use it for stills, but for video, it's sharp as a tack. Because of the 1-inch sensor, though, the cons are the fact that you can't really shoot past 1200 ISO. So in low light, you just better have the light you need. It won't do the job. So what happens with this camera is I'm really going towards stills a lot these days. So don't think I'll be using this camera for a stills workflow in the future. I'm going to take it out. I'm probably going to do a couple of capsules of me giving it a last chance. I really am. I'm going to give it a last chance for stills, because what's really nice about it is for street photography and stuff like that, because it's a super zoom, you can do what's called candid photography. You can be far away and get some candid shots, which is kind of cool. Take a sip of my coffee, and I'll go to the next camera, which is another vlogging and blogging. I'm showing a lot of vlogging and blogging equipment that I do have. And this right here, let me see if I can get that in, get some light on that. There it is. Yes. It's the G7X Mark II. This camera for many reasons, to me, is one of the great cameras that Canon has come out with. Now, this and this, believe it or not, in terms of actual... Here, let me go back to this. Google shit, man. Okay. Go over here, F1. In terms of actual stills performance, believe it or not, the G7X Mark II, which has I believe it's a 24 to 100 equivalent zoom. You guys can correct me on that if you want to. Oh, hello from Serbia. That's cool. I just got my first thing. That's cool. Yeah, hello. Who is Dulls Rules? Dulls Rules. Hey, Serbia. You know, I was in Serbia. I went to Serbia to actually entertain the troops, the North American, the NATO troops, in '98. Yes, I'm an old man. I went to Kosovo and all that stuff, but maybe you don't want to hear about that because you are Serbian. But anyways, back to my point. No politics. Let's get to the whole thing. But hello, it's good to see you too. Hello from England, Anthony Daval. Cool, guys. It's fun to hear from you. It's fun to know that someone's listening. I'm not doing this in the dark. So let me go back to this. As I was saying, in terms of stills, the FZ2500 and the G7X, there's no difference. Believe it or not. The only difference you're going to get is you're going to get more super zoom. And I want to mention that to me, super zoom has never been a priority for me. Ever, ever, ever. It's never been a priority. And hello from Poland. Yes, we got someone from Poland. That is too cool. And yes, there's always a connection. My girlfriend is of Polish descent. And yes, Polish women are quite stunning. For the longest time, we had the image of the Polish woman with the little bandana and walking around. But I'll tell you one thing. There are some hotties in that country. There are some hotties for show. Back to my point. The G7X. So what do I use it for? What is the workflow that I use the G7X for? I love to carry this thing around to just get some nice little candid shots and street shots. It's small. And believe it or not, a lot of people are just going to freak out on what I'm about to say. But this thing actually beat out the Fujifilm X100F. Don't go nuts on me, guys, okay? I know that the X100F, lens-wise and sensor-wise, is in another league. But one of the biggest things about this camera was the quality of the images I get for the size of the camera. And not only that, because it flips up like this, I get myself a fantastic selfie camera to actually do more vlogs and blogs so that you guys can watch. And this is the go-to selfie camera for a lot of people. And for a lot of reasons, people don't realize to what extent the G7X is a fantastic stills camera. And it beats out the FZ2500. So that's all I wanted to say on that. Just wanted to tell you that that's one of my cameras. Now, I know I got a lot of cameras. It's just too much. It's a lot of cameras. And my goal this year is to try my best to not buy new stuff. So that's what I'm going to try to do. But listen, I tell you one thing. What I have right now, I'm looking at, why am I on the G1X here? Cameras, G7X. G7X Mark II. Here, let me put it here. G7X. See what happens. Search. Give me search, guys. Come on. Come on. Now give me the search. There it is. G7X Mark II. Great camera. Another thing I want you guys to know is that I believe there is another camera. What's a bit of a drag about this camera is that you have just the flip up like this. And what is fun is they have another version of this camera with a visor on the top and the flip to the side. It might be more interesting for you because not having the visor on this has been a bit of a drag. And who am I talking to? I took my Fuji XT2 to Iceland, got some awesome photos. Anthony, send me the link to some sort of, I don't know, send me a link to your Instagram or something like that. I want to check it out. And someone from South Africa. Oh, cool. Big thumbs up from South Africa. I know I didn't get that accent right, but hey, that's cool. It's another country I definitely want to visit. Man, you guys, it's so much fun to talk to people from all around the world. It's so cool. So let me just continue on sort of my workflow. So we've looked at a lot of vlog and blog cameras, and I want to show you two other little vlog and blog cameras that are a lot of fun to work with. Now this right here, okay, let me go to this right here. There you go. Okay, this right here, believe it or not, this thing is kicking ass. It's unbelievable. I'm surprised. It's the GoPro Hero4 Black. Now, what's really cool about this is that there's actually a couple of jacks in there. There we go. There's a couple of jacks where I can actually put external audio. And I got this thing right here, which is unbelievable, you guys. You won't believe this. Look at this. It's a little Sublimeware thing that actually makes the GoPro have a bit of a video production style. So what I do is I vise it in there. I get a cover, a lens cap, a place here, a cold shoe on the top, and I actually have screws at the bottom to actually put this thing at the end of a selfie stick, mic, whatever, put, you know, external mics. It's kind of cool. So that's a really cool thing. The Hero Black, I've just gotten it. I'm learning to love it. The pros of this, just great. The quality is unbelievable for a little lens. Now, that's why I want to talk about this right here. And I'm going to go to the actual page of this camera. Let me go back here. Fujifilm. Why do I not have that? Hey, cool. Worldwide audience on the channel. So happy to see your channel's. Yeah, it's growing, guy. Those rules. It is growing, but it's surprising. It's surprising how slow it can go. It's a tough gig. YouTube is not like it used to be. Let me go into Zoom. Maybe if I go back. There you go. There you go. Check it out, guys. It's the Zoom Q4. Now, why did I buy this camera? This is a weird-ass camera. Really weird-ass thing. I bought this again for selfies and stuff like that. But what is really great about it is the fact that... I'm going to take this off so you can actually see. Zoom is a company that makes a lot of stuff for audio. Like anyone who actually has a video production workflow will know that one of the best external recorders for video for any cameraman is the Zoom H4. It revolutionized audio around the world. So what Zoom did is they came out with this camera right here. It's actually a camera with a flip out audio thing. Here we go. There we go. Ah! Did it again. Give me a second here. There you go. So if you look at this camera, it's quite a weird ass camera. But what's amazing about the Zoom Q4 is anytime you have a production thing where you need to prioritize audio, recording a band or whatever, this thing kicks ass. This is like having an H4 in a little camera. The biggest problem with Zoom, and I hope they're listening to me right now, is with the Q4 and the Q8, the video sucks. And I mean, it's really bad. It's not great. It's technically 1080p, but in terms of bandwidth, I don't think it's that fantastic. Now, these guys think so much of audio that supplied with it, you get this puff, this wind filter. So when I tape outside, I know it's going to be a windy day. I actually use this thing, and this wind filter just kicks ass. It's really great. So it is a really, really, really good camera for selfie use. And listen, guys, I sent you the link to my cool. Thanks a lot, Anthony. I'll check it out right after the live cast for sure. For sure. Now, guys, anyone out there knowing me for my XT2 and XT20 stuff, I'm going to get to you right away in a second. So I just wanted to mention the pros and cons on that Zoom Q4. It is great audio. The only problem is I'm really waiting for Zoom to actually say, you know what, we're going to come out with GoPro style video, the quality of GoPro with the audio of the Zoom, because it's not there. So what I use the camera for right now is I basically film whatever audio performance I have. I'm going to give you some links to some stuff I've taped with it. You're going to freak out on the quality of that thing. If you guys need something in a production workflow where there's audio and you need it to sound good, this is the thing to go. And speaking of sound good, can anyone give me some feedback on how this is sounding right now. I just want to know if the audio is high enough. And now, while you're doing that and you're typing, I'm going to go get the cameras that everyone's been waiting for. Okay, here we go. And yes, the Fujifilm XT2. And as you can see, I'll talk a bit about the pros and cons about this. For now, guys, what I really love, okay, and this is what I want to talk about, is everything is as good as you expect it to be. And before I got into the Fuji system, I said to myself, I'm gonna get a camera that just takes stills. And that's all I expected to do with the camera. This is the first time where it's really a decision I'm really, really proud of, is that I said, I'm just going to do stills. Thanks guys. Thanks for telling me good sound. I'm happy. So I said, I'm going to do stills. So I went out and bought the Fujifilm XT2, doing a lot of research, talked to a lot of people, did a lot of YouTube stuff, and I really thought that this would fit my workflow. And so far, it is kicking ass. Now, if you look in the cards of this video right now, you will find the playlist of the XT2 and the XT20. Check it out, guys. There's a lot of stuff in there. I've shot a lot of stuff with this, and it's freaking me out every day. It's really freaking me out every day. And if you ask me, am I a fanboy of this camera? Yes. The answer is yes. Big time. I really am. I really am. The pros of this, the list is very, 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 very long. Therefore, you know, I will go through just a couple that I think that are really important, and they're more philosophical than actually technical. But I think this is Fuji really nailed it on the head where Sony missed out a lot of times. I really think so. I think the XT2 was really a beautiful introduction, especially when they decided to bring the battery grip on the Fuji XT2. This battery grip is like a booster, and it actually boosts and gives you more features on the camera. This doesn't overheat when I use it for 4K. The 1080p on it is great. Even though I don't use it for that mostly, I just find that everything is implemented great. It hasn't been without its problems. My XT2 had dust on the sensor behind the protective coating, so I had to send it in, but Fuji was great with it, and it went really well. So yeah, I'm going to leave a list, also maybe a checklist below, so you guys can go check it out and see what it's like. But it's just a great camera. This is a new purchase right here. It's the XT20. This rules life. What is that, life? Great camera for stills, but not good for events. And autofocus is fast, but hope the 3 has an improved autofocus. Oh yeah, you fine. Maybe it's, you know, this is Juan Lopez who just told me that he thinks the autofocus could be better for events. And that's, to me, where this camera right here became a star for me, believe it or not, was in events. Now, I'm not saying Juan is wrong at all, but what happens is maybe sometimes it's the method you approach, the way you shoot. I don't know how, Juan, you actually do your actual focusing. In my case, I came from the 6D Mark I, and that camera had the most atrocious autofocus in the world. Therefore, I think what happens is that because I was in such a crappy zone of photography, when I went to this, the joystick and everything, I still use single point joystick and not a lot of other stuff when I do my events. So it does, for me, a good job so far. It has outperformed the 6D Mark I, but that, you know, that's not the greatest of standards to go by. So maybe there's something else out there that's even better. If you guys, maybe Juan, could you mention maybe another camera that outperforms the Fujifilm XT2? Because I'll tell you one thing, for events, this 80D with dual pixel, it kicks ass for events. It really does. It really does. For photography, it's great. Like, it's a star for me when I use it in continuous focus for video, but I know for a fact, and I've used this 80D on events, it kicks ass, man. It really does. It really does. Okay, now we go to the XT20, which I'll show you guys right here. Oh, man. This thing goes to... Okay. This is the XT20. Right now I have the 18 to 55 f2.8 to 4. I like this camera a lot. Why did I buy it? Because I'm planning to get like a pancake lens on it, but I wanted to have something that was identical to the workflow of the XT2, because I just hate changing in and out on my lenses. One, you know how it is when you do events. You have one zoom, a large zoom, but you always need that wide shot for whatever in an event. It always happens. At one point you'll be shooting and you go, this whole dance troupe or this circus troupe, we need to get a wide shot. It would be really cool. So it is quite cool. I always like to have the XT20 on wide, and I use the 55 to 200 lens. Pull out all my lenses, might as well. I just fucking love Fuji glass. Yeah, so what I like to put, I have the 55 to 200 for events. It's quite dark. I'm sure, Juan, you're going to tell me that. The 50 to 140 I have not used. I have not touched. Apparently it is something to behold, but I haven't used it. But I like to, back to my point, which is I like to have the XT2 with a zoom so I can zoom into shots of the action of what's happening. And I always like to have the XT20 around with a wide angle. It gets the great shots. Same sensor, guys. Same innards, but just not as many features as the XT2. So these two in combination, when I actually go out and shoot events, kick ass. They really do. Might as well just talk about these lenses really quick. I have this the 35. I hate the lens cap on this, but the shade. Yes, I have the 35 f2, which again I'll leave a link below to what I think of this. It's just ridiculously amazing. It's fixed focal, you know. It just kicks ass. One of the big bonuses about Fuji is their glass. Their glass is great. And here's the 56 1.2 by Fuji. Now I'm having a problem, guys. Believe it or not, the actual ring is a tad loose. I might have to send it back. So I've sent back my 55 to 200 because it had lens creep and it was brand new. Lens creep on a 10-year-old lens makes sense, but not on a brand new lens. And I also returned the XT2. Now I might have to return this because seriously, the ring is really, it's like, can you see that? That's pretty fucking scary. And when you pay the price you pay for these lenses, you know, you want to bring them back. Well, I'm just going to read a couple of the comments you guys make. I got one of those grips. I never ran out of battery life on my trip to Iceland. No, duh. Anthony, think of it. You have, what people don't realize is that when you go to a battery grip to, for example, Canon, you have to sacrifice the battery space because there's a thing that goes in to go get the contacts in the battery pack. With the Fuji, you don't have that, see? So what happens is the XT2, for example, the XT2, you can keep the battery here and add 2 batteries, so up to 3 batteries. Now, everyone knows when you're working with mirrorless, the more batteries, the merrier. I believe in Anthony 100%. You can have 3 batteries and you can kick ass. You can do a full day, and that's really cool thing. Oh yeah, 35F to me is F2 to me is better than the 1.4 returned my 1.4 and keep the F2. That F2 is, you guys, it's just stupid. It's a stupid lens. Stupid for all the wrong, it just kicks ass. It's literally stealing. Apparently the 16 millimeter is the same way. The 16 millimeter, according to the angry photographer, like him or not, is underpriced. That's what he says. It's like Leica quality. Okay, right. How do you like the the video on the XT2 for a trip to Boston in the next few weeks. I am torn. I have a corporate video out. I should maybe send it to you, and it's quite stunning. The 1080 video on the XT2 is stunning. I did use it with the 56mm and the 35 fixed focal lenses. The video was absolutely stunning and absolutely amazing for a lot of reasons. It is sharp, tack sharp. I realize I just can't send that video to you because you will not know what's the 80D or the XT2, but I am pleasantly surprised by the 1080p on it. The 4K is excellent as well, which I want to mention as well as I said before, with the FZ2500 bridge camera, which is a jack of all trades, master of a couple. You might have some great 4K in that as well. But the XT2, from what I've experienced, the 1080p kicks ass. It's very, very nice. And what's really cool is that it's a Fuji color palette. And when you look at the video, you're going to go, that's Fuji. And that for me happens with a Canon. I can tell when something's shot with a Canon and when it's shot with a Sony. I know right away. And with the Fuji, you have a color palette. I'll give you an example. The A6000, which is an old camera I used to have, for skin tones, I loved that camera. It was just unbelievable for skin tones. The 80D, I like to use it for interview stuff. For some reason, I can't tell you why, but the emotion pops out with my Canon colors. The Fuji has this other color palette. It's just different, and it's different and nice. It's really, really nice. When I'm going to use it, I can't tell you because I haven't used it that much, but from what I've seen, it's great. So that is basically my workflow. I wanted to show you a couple of my lenses. I got too many lenses. This is all my Canon stuff. Now, I sold the 6D because I was just sick of the quality of that camera. I just couldn't take it anymore. Not the quality of it, because the quality was excellent. The quality was great. But I was just sick of dealing with the focus on it. I was manually focusing with that thing. That's what I was doing. So what I did, this is I'll just really quickly go through my lens collection for the 80D, which is in waiting, and I'll explain to you where I'm going with that. So all of this is for vlogging and blogging. The XT2 is my stills stuff. Now, as you can see, nothing here is full frame. Everything is APS-C, which is a good thing. But the advantages of APS-C are always, and a lot of people don't talk about this enough, is the fact that the depth of field of an APS-C is larger, not smaller. It's actually larger. So because the sensor is a bit smaller, at certain focal lengths, more stuff is in focus. Now, you lose that bokeh feel to a lot of stuff, yes, but when you do events, that bokeh thing isn't that great of a thing to have. But sometimes you want shallow depth of field, and I don't have that right now. When I want to do portraits and I want that really shallow depth of field, I can't get it for now, like really like crazy dramatic. And I think one thing I'll always tell everybody is size trumps all. Size of your sensor trumps everything, no matter what. If you have an old generation sensor that's what's wrong with me right now? Normal format, like full frame. Yes, sorry. If you have an older generation full frame, no matter how much technology you put in a 4/3, you're just going to get something that's visually more pleasing in a full frame sensor. That's not to say it's not better, but you know, it's just something that I feel. What are people writing here? Canon ISO 64 and the Fuji is better, but the D750 is better for high ISO. I believe that because I think Nikon has always kicked ass when it's come to low light shooting though. I shoot in dark clubs, currently shooting Canon 5D Mark II. You must love that thing. But contemplating the XT2 What do you think about high ISO performance on the Fuji? It's okay, but you know, I'm just talking about that. That's another thing where size trumps all. It trumps all. So on the Fuji, you're getting an APS-C size sensor. There's the actual depth of field thing that you get. So you get less of that shallow depth of field, but low light wise, stick to full frame, man, when you can. If you're in a club, you will have way more low light tolerance at 6400 ISO if you have a full frame. Just wanting to let you know that. So, but I do not know about the the D750. Is that full frame, guys? Oh, and Andrea Di Meo said Nikon D750 is not better in autofocus. Okay, I believe that. But I think, you know, I tell a lot of people, if you can get a lower cost, even if you can get an A7, A7s are going down, because what's great about Sony is that they have upgrade disease. They have model disease. But what's great about that is that the A7, the Mark I, is still an amazing camera. So you can go and get that for a song, and you got a full frame camera. So it's something to think about. So now we sort of went into my whole philosophy towards APS-C versus full frame. Don't get mad at me, guys. That's the way it is. So anyways, back to my point. So eventually I do want to go back to full frame, but not right now. I'm having too much fun with my XT2, my XT20. They're a lot of fun. And I just want to talk about a couple of lenses I bought recently and why I bought them. I have this, the 10-18. Can you see that? Let me see that. Yeah. Can't get the light in there. Canon 10-18. This is the cheaper version. It's the 4.5 to 5.6. There's another 10-18, which is a bit more expensive. This thing is light. It like weighs nothing. When I put this on the 80D with dual pixel on autofocus, vlogging and blogging kicks ass. Here's another jewel. It's the 24mm pancake f2.8 STM. This is the nifty 50 of their wide angles. Well, wide angle 24. What is that? A 40 equivalent on APS-C on Canon, which is 1.6 crop factor. But this lens kicks ass. I also will leave a link to the review on what I thought of this lens. It's unbelievable. Canon has this whole gamut of lenses that are sort of cheaply made in terms of the actual build quality, but the actual quality of the optics is great. And hey, by the way, anyone out there have a Canon 75-300? This is the, let me tell you, it's the f 4.5 to 5.6. It's a Mark III. The reason why I'm showing this lens is I bought it because it would have been stupid not to buy it. It was $129 Canadian. That's equivalent about 90 bucks American. I'm not joking. And it's brand spanking new. It was out of the box. So anyone who's had this, tell me what you think of it. I just want to know if it's good. Haven't used it once yet. This is from my actual full frame days. It's the Canon 100mm f, I believe it's 2.8. It's macro fixed focal. This kicks ass. I've used this on portraits a lot. Just a little thing I want to mention about macros. Macros are funny because they're relatively expensive for the time you use them. So you end up not buying macros. For years, you don't buy a macro. And every time you get to that one point where you need that macro, you go, oh man, wish I had a macro right now. The reason why I need the macro is a lot of times, a lot of my clients are software engineers. And when you want to market the product, you can always show a screenshot, but it's always better to actually film a screen. It's just nice to look at with that shallow depth of field on a macro. I've used this commercially 100% on computer screens. That's about it. So that's a bit of my workflow and how I work. I know it's a lot of cameras, but right now nothing is going to be sold for I just want to keep on doing vlogs and blogs, and I love doing vlogs and blogs. So all of this equipment stays there. I'm not sure about my FZ2500. For the Fuji, it's just another world. I go into another world when I work with the actual Fuji X-T2. I love that camera. It's just the whole camera system, the lenses, the glass, the adaptability for vintage lenses. I have a whole bunch of vintage lenses. Maybe I'll live stream on that next week or something like that. Let me look at some of your questions and what you guys say, because you're even talking to each other, which is kind of fun. Someone's talking. I shoot in dark. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yes. One. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Okay. The D750 is full frame. You know what, Juan? I'd stick with the D750. I really would. XT2, they kick ass, but size trumps all in my case. Yeah, you can find an A7 for $600, guys. An A7. Now, what are the things what do I like and what do I not like about Sony? I own the A6000, and this is a former A6000 user. I don't know how they are today. The things that bothered me about the A6000 were mostly the menu system. The rest, I kind of liked it. It was a great camera. I just feel that... Here's my whole opinion on Sony. I think they make great cameras. I think they have great glass. The glass, a lot of people say, is overpriced, but I don't think so. I think the glass that they have at high quality is amazing glass. But the Sony camera is a bag of specs. They sell you this big bag of specs, and they go, here, take that and go. But they don't think about the actual workflow. When you pick up your camera, put it in your hand, and you move it and you focus it. Some people like that workflow. It just doesn't jibe with me too much. So that's the whole deal on Sony. But if you can get an A7 at $600, it just sounds like a great thing. I'd love to have the GFX 50, but the price tag is more than I paid for my car. Yeah, the worst part is that it's a medium format, and the worst part about that is that it's actually cheap for medium format. That's what's unbelievable. That's what I just can't get over about that. And what happens is when you go into that realm, you go into a whole new focal plane. Therefore, the lenses you have to get, it's not just, you can't just buy a GFX 50 and end it there. Because after that, you got to go get the lenses that fit with that. And those lenses are even more expensive. You're talking in the $215. Probably the cheapest is $1,500. How much is the cheapest? Let's go check that out. GFX 50S. The lenses. They're supposed to come up with a new. Do you know they're supposed to come up with a new GFX? A GFX 50. Oh, why not put Z? GFX 50 lens B&H, right? Film Global. Yeah, they're supposed to come up with some new stuff. A new, less expensive camera, but you know, it's just not cheap. $2,300, you know. Okay, so what are you guys saying here? It's a real bummer that Tamron don't make lenses for. Yeah. It would be fun if somebody, even if the Sigma Art series, if they'd make lenses for the GFX. It's just so young. I guess there has to be a certain... They probably look at some sort of sales numbers, and then they decide to make it. You know, remember how long it took for them to make stuff for the Sony system? For Sigma to start making stuff for the Sony, it took a little while. For macro, it's cheaper. You do lots of macro, not worth getting... Yeah, but I'm telling you one, you'd be surprised. Not only do macro lenses serve for macro, like I told you before, but it's also a great portrait lens as well because of that shallow depth of field. You're far away. This is a 100 millimeter macro, but it's surprising how far away. Sony needs 7 FN programmable buttons to make work. It's too much digging for... it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Sony, I don't want to badmouth Sony because I'm telling you, some people are totally comfortable with that workflow. 100% comfortable. Maybe it's because I used to have a film camera, and that's why when I pick up a Fuji, there it goes. When I pick up a Fuji, I just know where everything is because they really did inspire themselves from the older cameras. So I think that might have a lot to do with why The Sony things are not, I'm not a big fan. Sony, yeah. Juan, you said 2300. 2300. What's 2300? I don't know. Oh, you don't miss it, okay. I love the XT2 too. Yeah. Yep. Steve Anderson. Yeah, welcome to the club. He says hoping for a full frame mirrorless from Canon soonish. Here is the rumors going around, and I don't have a lot of time. I got 8 minutes left. Here are the rumors going around. The rumor is they're going to come out with sort of an X100F type street photography fixed lens mirrorless full frame. It's going to be like a sort of a boutique camera. That they can come out with tomorrow. So that's kind of cool. That rumor is a really... I got some great sources on that. That great source has some great sources. So that's the rumor about that. That is, I heard, probably one of the lenses, cameras they're going to come out with first. But there is rumor that they're going to come out with a mirrorless, interchangeable full-frame camera. I'm eager to see. Now, a lot of people talk about the flange distance, and that's why it would not be a good idea for them to make a mirrorless camera that accepts EF lenses. But I think it's very possible, and I'll give you. I think it's. They can do it. It's just going to be a weird-looking camera because you're going to have a camera with like a thin body. Then you have to have like a tube, and then you'll have a place where you can put the EF. But I think the key to Canon going mirrorless and full frame